Hello everybody, this is D Sinks here and welcome to a video that I'm going to do. I'm an AVGL caster and our finals are being held this weekend. They're going to be a LAN finals at High Risk Studios for the Collegiate Smite League and I'm excited. And people are probably going to watch this and not really know anything about these two teams. So for your sakes, I am making a video here that will detail out these two teams. Just a brief little analysis video here for the Texas A&M Pistol Petes taking on Nodes Gaming. These are the official names of these two teams, by the way. The Nodes did not include their school name in their actual title, but so looking at this finals for the Petes and Nodes at the beginning of the season, this is pretty much what everybody expected, honestly, because if you just look at the names on this team, if you keep up with the high end of Challenger Cup scene, or maybe not even that, because some of these players have competed in the Gauntlet. That's what it was called. One of these players did compete in the Gauntlet, but you probably would look at this and be like, duh, this is a team that's going to make it. So we're not really surprised, but, you know, oh well. Apologies. So, getting into it here, taking a look at these two teams, let's start with the Texas A&M Pistol Petes. The man of the hour, the captain, the one name that really is the one to talk about here is going to be Day to Remember, who is the ADC for this squad. He mostly played in the Gauntlet. He's the player that went to the Gauntlet, piloting formerly Aquaman, Most Wanted, that's what they were called. Aquaman and the Waves is how I will forever remember them. But he played a lot of Jing Wei. In the AVGL, he played a lot of Soul. So it was kind of the trade-off of that. But those are his top two gods. He'll play Rom if he has to, but really those are the two characters that he excels with. Not a very large god pool, but an incredibly skilled player. One of the harder carries that we've seen in the league. His support, Dingodile, is an incredible playmaker when he's on Sobek. I haven't really seen the rest of his god pool. People weren't taking away Sobek from Dingo, but even in Challenger Cup, it was always a joke of, well, Dingo can only play Sobek. That's his god pool. That's the character that he enjoys the most. It's the character he plays the most. So, Dingo's Sobek, that's his playmaking god. And the question will be if he's going to be able to do that with others. Now, looking at Fine OK, who's their jungler, he is a playmaker for them as well. Another top Challenger Cup team, top Challenger Cup player. Fine OK, converted from solo, goes to jungle, can carry, can set up, can do whatever he's asked to do in the jungle. He's another big playmaker for this team. Why try in Osoth or more of these role players for the squad? Why try in Osoth both? They're going to farm up. They're not really going to lose lane super hard. They're not really going to win lane super hard unless with some assistance typically. And they're going to get to that end game, and they're going to hit their abilities. They're going to do everything right. They're the role players for this squad, and that's totally fine because they're very good at it. They're not putting this team at a disadvantage. So that's really the breakdown of the Petes. And then you look at Nodes Gaming, and when you talk about Nodes, these are the two players you want to talk about. Fatal and Collateral were one of the more fun duo lanes to watch, doing things like an Odin Nox lane, where Odin was the carry. They've done Scotty Hades lane as well. That was another one that they did. Najai Ares, but that's boring. Fatal actually didn't play a single hunter class, I should say, not the role. Apologies. He did play Soul, but he didn't. The only hunter that he played all year was AMC. That's hype. That's a lot of fun. They're fun players to watch. They want to do stuff like that, but not to discredit them. If somebody is not single-handedly carrying, but if somebody's putting up all the kills, all the damage, all the numbers for this team, it's probably one of these two. Collateral most notably on his Ares, which I honestly kind of expect to see at LAN, and Fatal for his AMC. Actually, his AMC was like one of the hardest carries. He did like 70k player damage or something like that. It was insane. And yes, and part of that is because the other team just wasn't getting to him, but the rest of that you cannot take away from Fatal. He played so incredibly well in that matchup. He played so safe. He played safe enough to not die, but not so safe that he just wasn't doing any damage. And then you look to Mojo Cat, their jungler, who that's their captain. And he's a good leader, good shot caller, but he can go 1-2-20, or he can go 13-0-5. He can carry or he can support, and that just means that there's a lot of utility for them coming out of this jungle position, a lot of filler from that jungle position. We've seen him play a character like Ao Kwong, which I expect to get taken away from Fine OK. So we know that he can do that, but mostly Mojo likes his Thor. Mojo's a big Thor player. Dano's game and Dean Cole kind of in a similar spot to why try and Osoth, honestly. These aren't your big flashy players. These aren't your highlight reel kind of guys. They keep everything very status quo, and they will make plays if they have to, but mostly they're going to farm up, they're going to hit their abilities, they're going to do well. The one thing to note is that Dean Cole lost lane flat out in 2 games to Puckham. They ended up beating TCC Forever Gold, which is Puckham's team, 2-0, but Dean Cole lost lane very, very hard. Now, I don't know if Osoth is going to be able to do the same thing to Dean, because I just don't know if Osoth is that same type of player that Puckham was, but that could be a concern for Nodes, but I don't think it's that big of a concern. So let's talk the matchup directly. And, of course, let's start with the duo lane, because this is, highlight plays there. I think that Nodes has the edge there because I don't think that Dingo's going to get Sobek. I just don't think that he's going to. Fatal is probably going to make sure that if Day gets Jingwei or Sol, he's going to get the other one. Apologies. Day is not going to just be left to free cast in these fights like he has been in the past. This is going to be a tough matchup for Day because Nodes is going to put the focus onto him. Now, in looking at the mid lane and the Soul lane, I expect kind of status quo there. The eye should be on the Soul lane, if anything, but I think all should bode well. And I do not believe that Final K is going to be getting his Alquang that he was so fabled for in the Challenger Cup, and I don't think that Mojo Cat is going to get his Thor. I think these two teams are going to look to make the other team beat them with something that they're maybe not quite as comfortable with, and I love that. I think that's fantastic. It is going to make for a fun matchup between these two squads. And, and really I want to talk about where we stand in terms of this. I'm personally going to give this 2-1 to Notes Gaming because I know that the Pete's, due to the fact of having top level Challenger Cup players, having somebody make it to the Gauntlet even, they weren't really scrimming together. They weren't playing as units so much. They were, hey, we are 5 players and we're going to be better than their 5 players. That's how they played it. That's fine. Notes Gaming, hang out on their Discord talking to the guys. They scrim. They keep up the competitions. They want to play together as a unit. They want to get better. Nodes has been taking this more seriously, just in terms of scrimming and whatnot. So I'm going to give it 2-1 to Nodes, but I do think that it is going to be a 2-1. It's going to be close. And the difference between first and second is 2K. It is $6,000 versus $4,000 because we have a 10K prize pool. 400 per player. That's awesome. That's a lot of money. But the LAN is really the big thing, I think, and that's going to be what these teams really look at. And congratulations to them for making it to the LAN finals. I'm really excited for this matchup. I've been waiting for Peas v Nodes the entire season. So now it's finally here. Now I can finally enjoy it. And I hope all of you will tune in on Sunday to see the stunning conclusion of who is going to win. Will it be the boys from Nodes or will it be the boys from Pete's? We'll find out, and I will see you all then.